with my guy Woody and Shefty. Guys, Woody, we start with you. Seahawks or the 49ers?
Yeah, I got the San Francisco 49ers. This is a team second in the league in rushing. One of the top defense in the National Football League, particularly against the pass. This team, to me, has all the makings of a team that can make a Super Bowl run.
All right, Shefty. Steelers or Titans for the AFC wild card? Who you got?
I'm going to go with the Titans, and I'm going to say that because I know Bill O'Brien said that the plan is to win and to play as players, but the fact of the matter is I think they'll say that. I don't know if they'll actually do that. And because of that, Tennessee's been gunning for this game, ready for it, rested Derrick Henry last week with the shaky hamstring. He'll be ready to go this week. Derrick Henry will against Houston. I think the game doesn't mean anything to the Texans. It means everything to the Titans. And if the Titans win, they're in. I believe that's the way it'll go.
All right, Woody, who's more likely to pull the upset, the Redskins versus the Cowboys or the Giants versus the Eagles?
I'm going with the New York Football Giants. Listen, we saw what Danny Dimes did last week against the Washington Redskins. They had 5 touchdowns. Saquon Barkley was looking like the Saquon Barkley of old. They have pieces. They have weapons against, quite honestly, a very depleted Philadelphia Eagles team. We know that Carson Wentz has been playing lights out for the Philadelphia Eagles, but the fact of the matter is they have a lot of pieces on offense that are going to be out for this game.
A few weeks ago, the Giants and Eagles squared off on Monday night, and the Giants were beating the Eagles 17-3 at halftime. And that may have been where the Eagles' season turned. At halftime, something clicked, something changed. Somebody said something. They came out, they rallied, they won that game. They won the next week against the Redskins, the next week against the Cowboys, and now find themselves one more win against the Giants away from winning the NFC East and ruining Dallas's offseason. So, to me, that was a big moment, but that also was a time where the Giants proved they could play with the Eagles.
Shefty, what's the injury report on the Eagles?
Well, listen, yesterday they had 3 different players not practice. Zach Ertz missed practice with the rib injury. Lane Johnson, the offensive tackle, didn't practice at all. Nelson Aguilar didn't practice at all. So there were 3 players. Now, what's interesting about that is Dallas Goedert stepped up with Zach Ertz hurt on Sunday, and Lane Johnson, they were able to get by without him. And Nelson Aguilar, I think this team has shifted without these veteran wide receivers. Deshaun Jackson, Alshon Jeffrey, Nelson Aguilar, they've shown that they can rely on guys like Greg Ward, throw to the tight ends, throw to the running backs. And it's almost like these guys have deferred to Carson. He's exerted his leadership over this team. And it's almost like they've been better off without the veteran guys. As good as the veteran guys are, this team has won in ways it didn't with the veterans. And so they'll see if they can keep it rolling on Sunday.
And I know Carson Wentz has played at a high level last game. I know a lot of talk before that. People were questioning whether Carson Wentz was the guy to take the Eagles to the next level. Is he the guy?
Well, I mean, listen, the way he's been playing the past few weeks has been phenomenal. Think of all the players, and Adam pointed out, all the players that are injured and not playing, for the Philadelphia Eagles. With that being said, this is going to be a tough game against the New York Football Giants. I mean, listen, they have weapons, particularly on offense. They can score points. And the one thing that Daniel Jones showed last week is that he's a playmaker. As long as he holds on to the football, because that's really been his one big issue, fumbles. But as long as he takes care of that, they can score points in bunches.
Hey, Woody, this has happened on the field since both games have so many implications. If you're part of the Cowboys game, are you watching what's happening with the Eagles game?
I think what they do is typically they will not show the scores of that game. But we also live in a day and age where fans are going to be on Twitter, following social media, and you'll be hearing cheers and loud cheers.
You get reaction from the stadium.
If the Giants are winning that game, the Cowboys can try to block it all they want. Word is going to filter through that stadium on Sunday that the Giants are giving the Cowboys a chance to win that division by beating the Eagles. That'll go on as much as they're going to try to block it out.
And I had a situation back in 2002 where we had 3 teams. When I played with the Patriots, the Dolphins, and the New York Jets. We were playing the Miami Dolphins. We won that game. The Jets were playing in the 4 o'clock window. So as soon as we won that game, we went to look at the Jets game, and it was a complete blowout, and it just completely deflated the season. But these things tend to happen at this point in the season.
And the NFL, as time has gone on, has done a much better job at matching up these games and staggering them to where they matter, and they build the drama with the times that they start these games. It used to not be that way. I would say only in the last 5 or so years has the league gotten really smart and effective on the final Sunday of the season to marry it up so that there is the most drama possible. And it should make for another Week 17, that's very interesting on Sunday.
It's all good for me. I'm going to have the sweatpants on. I have the popcorn ready. I'm going to be live. P semifinals, having set a host of single-season records at LSU and within the SEC. He is also on pace to set the single-season FBS record for completion percentage. Wow. And Jalen Hurts knows a thing or two about beating LSU, as he's done it 2 times in his career. Only one quarterback has done that. With more in Oklahoma, here's Laura Rutledge.
Did you know Jalen Hurts had more total touchdowns this season than Johnny Manziel in his Heisman year? Did you know Oklahoma is better than LSU in time of possession? And did you know that Sooner defense that everyone loves to hate went from 114th nationally in total defense to 25th in the span of 11 months? By the way, LSU's defense ranks behind OU. Unless you're a diehard Sooner fan, you probably didn't know any of that because you're too busy counting them out. Don't feel bad. Vegas doesn't think they can win the Peach Bowl either. Once again, Lincoln Riley's squad thanks you for fueling their fire.
Will send the Dogs home to the championship game.
Touchdown. Jerry Jeudy, and that might do it.
They bring experience to the playoff, but why will this time be different? If the Sooners pull off a monumental upset, it will be because of their quarterback.
It ain't nothing that I can't handle.
Jalen isn't Baker or Kyler, but his will to win cannot be denied. Don't forget, he's beat LSU twice already. The forgotten team of the CFP is waiting in the shadows. Armed with weapons and want to, they're coming. If Oklahoma pulls off its first playoff win, don't say you didn't see it coming.
We now welcome in Laura Rutledge from the Peach Bowl Media Day. Laura, thanks for being here. What's Oklahoma's mindset knowing that they'll be without some of their key contributors?
Well, first of all, Jay, you're doing a great job taking over as host of this show. I'm so impressed. And just keep up the great work, okay? Keep smiling, my friend. You're killing it.
Thanks,
but when
Ella.
it comes to Oklahoma, Jay, it is really interesting how all this is going to play out, because I think when you look at the way that Oklahoma's handled adversity in the playoff the last few years, they've had it every single year. A couple years ago, Baker Mayfield was sick. Even last year, Kyler Murray was under the weather a little bit. Now they have these 3 suspensions, but the key suspension is probably to Ronnie Perkins, who is their defensive end, who's their sacks leader on this team. But one of the things that Alex Grinch said, their defensive coordinator, is that they actually feel a little bit better about all this because that's the one position on this defense where they rotate guys in and out more than any other position. So a lot of different players on this Oklahoma D have had reps at least at that spot. They'll certainly miss Ronnie, but they do feel like they're in a place to at least make up for that loss. And I think that's a key thing. Also, Turner Yell, of course, another injury on this Oklahoma defense. They're going to try to see if they could get him to go at all, but it's a collarbone injury, so that's going to be pretty difficult, probably unlikely that we'll see him play in this game. I think at the end of the day, when you look at what Alex Grinch has brought to this defense, it's a defense that, as we just heard in the piece, everybody likes to doubt them. They've actually been a lot better than people realize, and Grinch took them, Jay, from worst to first in the Big 12 this year. They're at least coming into this game, even though they're down some key guys, they're coming into this game feeling a lot better about their scenario than they might have in the past if this was the situation.
Laura, LSU's leading rusher Clyde Edwards-Helaire is still recovering from that hamstring injury. How much might this impact LSU's offense?
Yeah, well, this is going to be interesting because we're still trying to figure out if there's any possibility that Edwards-Helaire might play. You can see right here behind me that podium there that does not say Edwards-Helaire's name. Well, earlier today when they were setting up Media Day here, they actually had his name on that podium, then took it off and removed it. He is not here, but it seems as though they keep trying to see if maybe they could put him out in front of the media. Maybe he'd be healthy enough, and it just hasn't happened. We're hearing from Coach O that he's at the hotel getting treatment right now on that injured hamstring, and he's still questionable. They're going to do everything they can, according to Coach O, to try to get him out there and play. There have been some people out there, Jay, and we've talked about this on Get Up this week, who have suggested that even if he were, maybe 80%, 75%, something like that, Edwards-Helaire should sit this game and get ready for, a chance at the national championship if they were to get there. That is not the sentiment that LSU is operating under, though. If Edwards-Helaire is able to play, they want to give him that opportunity. They feel like They don't want to doubt Oklahoma. They don't want to go in here assuming that they've got some sort of easy victory here and they wouldn't have to play him. So it's going to be a key moment. I mean, right up until game time, we're going to be watching to see if he would be able to play in this game. And I expect that, maybe we'll even see him out there on the field warming up. They'll try to see if he can go. It's going to be key to see if they can get him out here.
LR, that's such